So I decided to remake this video, how to become a werewolf. The original one is still up. And it has, last time I checked, it had a few 100,000 views. I figured, video's 10 years old. I should probably remake it. See if I can do a little bit better job. So here we go. I've always been fascinated with werewolves, their history, stuff like that. The idea of changing yourself into a wolf, um, it goes back many, many, many centuries, maybe even over 1,000 years. Especially if you're looking at like Native American religions, Asian religions or philosophies, or even entire cultures of people, usually have some sort of legend, some sort of mythology about shapeshifting. I don't know who actually came up with the wolf one first. Most likely Native Americans, but I know it was adopted by the English, by the white folk up there too. So um, the various ways to do this have been primarily three. There's the astrological phenomena, which is sleeping under full moon is like just one example. Planetary alignments, seasons, cyclical cycles of nature align, and when they do, usually there's some sort of incantation. Uh, in other words, a ritual of some sort. It can be verbal, it could be a sacrifice of some sort, or it actually could be something else. There's various ways that they've described to do it. Um, it's been a secret. Others think it's genetic, that it's passed down genetically. So you either have it or you don't. Um, I think um, the astrological mixed with the potion is probably the best way. That seemed to be the most common ways anyway. At least in mythology and the white folk, that's usually how it is. Native Americans have different ones, but and shapeshifting is kind of along the same lines. But if you were talking about a wolf specifically, here's how I tried it. What I did is I read this book. It was can't remember the name of it. I was probably 9 or 10 years old. It was not written for 9 or 10 years old. I struggled reading it, but I was able to get through it with a little help. And in this book, it said, to become a werewolf, best way is to sleep under the full moon. I figured, oh shit, that's easy, right? I snuck out of my house, middle of the night on a full moon, sleeping bag, crawl up on the roof. Nothing happened. It's fucking cold. Even in Arizona, it was cold. But didn't work. Wasn't surprised because logic dictated. Well, shit, there'd be werewolves all over the place. How many people sleep outside under the full moon? It's practically every fucking homeless person asking for $1 is a werewolf, so you better fucking give them one, right? So I figured, okay, can't win them all. Tried another one of some herbs and stuff, but I had a hard time getting those magical potions. It's a tricky, tricky thing. Usually, the guy who writes the potions is the guy that sells the ingredients. That is brilliant. So, kind of like antivirus. Most of the viruses come from the antivirus companies. They sell you the cure to the viruses they make. Huh, wrap your head around that one. But the one I did try some success is red on a full moon. If you drink the water out of a wolf's impression in the sand, in the dirt, in the ground, under a full moon, you will become a werewolf on the following full moon. So that's what I did. In Arizona, there's not a lot of creeks and rivers. There are, but what's more common are canals, man-made ones. Um, so I did just that. I snuck out, uh, walked around. Lo and behold, found a paw print on the embankment of one of these canals. So, dried up. So I grabbed some water out of the canal and poured it in there. Only got, maybe a teaspoonful. Did exactly as it says. I got on my hands and knees and I lapped up like a dog what water I could out of that paw print and waited, waited with anticipation. And I remember the next full moon came around I felt weird. I felt weird all day. Started itching and stuff, and started twitching a little bit. I kind of kind of blacked out a little bit. Don't know what happened. I woke up, my clothes were shredded, house was torn up. Figured, oh, it fucking worked. It worked, you know. Then my memory started coming back. I remember looking at myself in the mirror when it happened, when I changed. I did change, but not into a werewolf. That paw print was of a golden retriever. So I am now a CNI dog. I can do that at will. Good luck with that.